Come on in. How's everyone doing today? What's going on? Welcome, welcome. We're back. So it seems we left off yesterday with the NDASA. And yeah, looks like we're going to be going back into it. Let me take a look. Let's take a look and see, right? Let's take a look and see what happened today. Today's July 3rd. So nothing's happening until the 5th. So what did we miss from when we clocked on out? Looks like the first witness and there's a second witness. Interesting. I wonder what the examinations were like. Okay, let's see if we can find a transcript of some sort. There's got to be a transcript around here. Let's take a look. NIH, doing some research from earlier. Cannabidiol, CBD. All right. Exit. We already looked at that. We already looked at that. Looked at that. We already looked at that. We looked at that. Ballotpedias, Nebraska, North Carolina. That's right. That's right. All right. So, let's take a look. What do we got going on with the NDASA statements? Let's take a look. Schedule 3 transcript. There's got to be some type of transcript going on. They're not currently published. Final transcript available on DEA.gov. Everyone's coming out swinging, supposedly. Okay, so, man. Well, let's see what's going on today. What happened today? What's everyone saying? What's everyone saying? DEA comes out swinging. That was a day ago. That was 10 hours ago. I want a transcript. Ugh. All right, well, we're just gonna have to wait to see. All right, well, until then, we can speculate, I suppose, on what's happening. Interesting. Well, actually, let's take a look at my LinkedIn, because LinkedIn is pretty. My LinkedIn is pretty good. All right, let's take a look. Delta 8, THC, THCA. It's all the same. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Yeah, that's so funny. Yeah. All right, so pretty much it's looking like, wait, what? Show more? Show less? What are you talking about? A little more. There we go. All right, it's well known large online games platforms. What's going on in LinkedIn world? What's going on in our LinkedIn world? Let's get for insomnia. Put down the Ambien. That's true. There should be way more than that. New batches being dropped. Let's keep on loading. What? And loading. All right. Certifying ganja. Yeah, this dude's dope. Dude's dope. Let's take a look. I'm validating all of you. This freaking plant. That's pretty cool. Dark Very fascinating. Limonene. Well, that's actually not true. Cannabinoid-derived terpenes are different than lemon terpene. Like, yes, it's a molecule, but it's going to have different effects based on the entourage. Even isolated, you have you have a cannabinoid, terpene, and a huh. Yeah, that's true. Okay, that's what they're saying. All right. Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that's exactly. Thank you. Yeah. No. See, I knew it. Like, no, like your body can totally tell. Ah, that's there. It is stereometric isomers. Yep. Chad wheat BT. Ah, dude, literally used fucking ChatGPT to make. That's the issue. Fucking oops. Oops, that's what happens when you let AI do your shit and you're not a fucking subject matter expert. You accidentally put egg on your face on social media. And people like me going on through, let's one more time. Who was that? That fucking yeah, Daniel Fowler, dope, OG. Fucking we all and Russ Hudson as well. Yeah, those dudes are fucking dope. Those dudes are dope. Yeah. Content creator for wellness brands, social media. Yeah. Wait, MSC? What do you mean? Hold on. Yo, what? Okay. Okay. Fascinating stuff. All right. Pretty dope. Anyway, let's continue on. Swiss Institute for Medical Cannabis Research. All right. VP Marketing. Oh, yeah, that's always been. Not sure. I don't know. All right, cartoon suit. Yep. ChatGPT shortlist. Ads, and more ads. Legally sold flower for the first time in Georgia. Let's go. Let's connect. Congratulations. Yeah, we need to get in contact with Find Fettle. Find Fettle. If you ever see this, Dank Bank. Look up the Dank Bank. Shout out to Dank Bank USA. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna go over the Dank Bank right now. I'm going over the Dank Bank right now. Let's take a look. Dank Bank. Dank Bank. Sign up. All right, let's take a look. Let's go over. Let's go see view. Let's take a look. So this is Dank Bank. Pretty cool stuff. Everything a connoisseur needs. Pretty cool. Let's take a look. All right. So let's take a look real quick. Let's see. All right, so how it works. 3 steps between you and a smarter session. Check in. You rate it. You find your new favorites. Let's see. We've got real check-ins, real reviews from people experiencing their own cannabis journey. Pretty dope. Terpene web. Okay. So filter products by type and terpene combination. Okay. It's pretty cool. Wedding cake. Runs. Gelato. And gelato's connected by terpene profile to carry filing. Fascinating stuff. For dispense, explore the business portal. Okay. Business stuff. Let's create an account. What do we think? Can't Google sign in just yet. All right, that's what we can work on. All right, let's see. Let me actually, I'm pretty sure I already have an account, so we're just gonna sign into my account. Yeah. Guess who's back again. Look at this. This is beautiful. Hold on, let's take a look. Let's take a look at the terp web. Terp web, look at all those strains. We need more strains in there for sure. Like, let's refresh. Huh. Got a Piscine, Awesomine, Myrcene. That's really cool. We can click and be like, hey, I only want to see limonene dominant strains. Boom. Pretty cool. And they have to have a minimum of 1%. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. All right. Now I want Little and Awesomine only. Look at that. Folks, I'm telling you, this is revolutionary. You can actually put in your strain and say, hey, I only want a strain that's Biticare, Phylline, Linalool, and Pinene. Or Awesomine. It doesn't look like there is any. Right? Hume, Beta. Let's see. Myrcene, Caryophyllene, Limonene. These strains have all 3 of those in their profile. It's huge. It's huge. Let's view details. What are we looking? We're looking at turbocharged. It's a hybrid. It's got to look like an average of 16%. It's probably higher than that, I bet. Genetics for Gastropop and Gas Guzzler. Looks like someone reviewed. Looks like Dankman reviewed it from Greenpoint Wellness. Pretty dope. Pretty dope. All right, back to. Let's view the family tree. Okay, so far that's it. Pretty cool though. Dankbank. Take a look at the stats. My longest streak is 3 days. Oh, I'm gonna keep those numbers up. Total reviews 48, unique products 43, 3 venues, 8.6 average. I only have 1 or 2 strains that are like duty strains. That's not good. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I think it's pretty good. I got a pretty good average going on. Okay, let's go. Let's go. Actually, let's check something in right now. Let's do a check-in. All right. Flower, I am smoking on. What are we smoking on? I think we're smoking on the Gelato. I like this strain. It's pretty decent. Pretty great. It's pretty great. It was a hybrid and the Gelato. Let me take a look. Gelato's entering COA. Gelato. Oh, Gelinade. Is the Gelinade. Confirm. Where's... Okay, the terpenes. View the lab data. View the COA. Get that COA. Yeah, let's zoom in on that. All right, so it's got 27%. Let's take a look. 27%. So let's go back to our dang ping. So it's 27%. And the top was Lamini. What was the next one, you guys? Help me out here. Beta carphiline and beta myrcene. Beta carphiline. Beta myrcene. And what were the strain? What were the 0.7, 0.5, 0.3? 0.7, 0.5, 0.3? And the parent strains. I don't know the parent strains. Does it give us the parent strains on here? What are the genetics on this? Genetics. We ain't got no genetics. Where are my genetics? More info? No genetics. All right. Well, what are you going to do? It's got Delta 9 THC. It's funny. I don't know why they put that there. That doesn't make any sense. All right. Anyway, let's take a look. Yeah. It's fascinating. Fascinating. Everything's tested. All right. So, COA is good. We're good. My thoughts. Long lasting. We'll put into a joint. What would you describe this as? It doesn't taste, I guess it tastes a little sweet. The strain as sweet and delectable. And we got this from Sanctuary. No photos. Let's post that check-in. Let's go. All right. Badges. I got 15. I'm 58 in progress. 12% complete. We got 115 to discover and earn. Let's go. Pretty cool. Let's take a look at our history. Yeah. Let's go. We keep going to more venues. Let's go. Let's see what's new. Oh, they toasted my black leg. Let's see let's see what's going on. See if he's been doing strains. Oh yeah, let's toast that. Perfect. All right, so Dank Bank. This is Dank Bank though. Like you have your history. I just reviewed it. Yeah, I like that. I like the fact that you can go back and see which strain you reviewed and how many times you reviewed it. Look, I reviewed GCJ twice. See, this is my personal. Like, it doesn't have to make sense to you guys. It just has to make sense to me because this is my therapy journal. This is my strain. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Okay, see you guys. You see what's going on here. You see what I'm talking about. Like, this is fun, and you can actually see how harsh you rate things, right? Like, you learn a lot about yourself, right? And we're gonna see if we can't get this entire checkerboard green. That'd be pretty cool. We can't miss a day, you guys. We're not gonna miss a day. We're always gonna fucking check in, do our reviews for our strains. Yeah, that's pretty much where we're at. Let me take a look. Say Think Bank. Let's do my profile. You guys want to see my stream up? Let's do my stream up. So far I won't. So because that's because I need to put in more terpenes. Like it's got to upload too. It's got to it's got to refresh. Yeah, because I literally just did that one. So yeah, and let's take a look. Notifications. Yeah. Dank Bank. So that's the Dank Bank, you guys. I highly recommend like going to the Dank Bank. Let me actually take a look at my terp web one more time. I want to see my terp webs. User. Let's find me. Yeah. Okay, I see Gelato, Black Maple, Glitter Bomb, Black Ice, Animal Tsunami. I guess it's gotta wait for it to upload the other strain that I just did. Because I just did Gelato or Gelinade. So yeah. Dank Bank V1.0. Let's take a look at suggested. So this is pretty cool. So with suggested, you can actually, it'll take a look at your flavor profile. And we can actually see, that surprised me. Yeah. So Dank Bank. Dank Bank is pretty dope. I love it. I hope you love it. Please take a look at it and you review it and use it. Tell me what you like, tell me what you don't like. Comments, opinions, questions, concerns. I love you guys. All right. Let's take a look. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. So yeah. I definitely think that we should take a look at what's going on in the world of cannabis today. Yep, that's funny. All right. Cannabis news today. Let's take a look. Yep. All right. 1 news channel, 2 news channel, 3 news channel. That's about it. All right. So, transportation groups warn of consequences for drug testing of truck drivers and pilots. What? I don't know. Idaho campaign submits ballots for final review. Okay. Idaho's about to go. Cayman Islands Government Commission lays out options. Gotcha. Inside the DEA's marijuana scheduling. That's an op-ed. DOJ marijuana lawsuit filing cites drug. Get rid of that. DOJ lawsuit filing cites drug testing. Industries and pharma company pocketbook interests. Interesting. I'm not sure what that's all about. All right. Rhode Island official asks judge to remove block on business license. Uh-huh. So Illinois just went? Yeah, that's okay. And Idaho's about to go for medical. House passes youth safety bill that could complicate marijuana businesses online outreach. Huh, wonder what that means. Let's find out. Give me the real. Here we go. All right, so this was introduced. It's past the House. It still has a long way to go before anything happens. Okay. Okay. That already is. That already exists. That's insane. But I mean, it's not insane. It's just like the fact that we need that is insane. What the fuck? You're tired of streaming to zero? Let's change that. Only the stream promo.ru at stream promotion bot. Well, I don't want to bot it. No, thank you. I prefer the natural of getting these. Yeah. Finally, the bill requires specified studies and reports about the effects of social media. Okay. So pretty much, it probably will be. Wait, motion to reconsider laid on the table and agreed to without. That's hilarious. Interesting. So at 7 p.m. Fascinating. Fascinating. Okay. So for some reason they think this is going to harm the cannabis. Okay, yeah. So I don't know what they're complaining about. Anyway, let's go to MJ Biz Daily. FDA approved cannabis. Why Schedule 3 means not prepare for pharmaceutical grade MJ now? Well, of course. That's a thing, yeah. Expanded medical cannabis sales at Georgia pharmacies. Yep. Trump marijuana scheduling is solely political. Opponent claims as to. Oh, okay. Who's the opponent that claimed that? Was it? It had to either be Drum. Oh, Sam. Kevin Sabet. Yeah, we know about this guy. He's like the current Harry Anslinger. I would consider this dude right here, Sam, to be like the Harry Ants. I mean, okay. I want to see what the review was. Wait, hold on. Smart approaches to marijuana. Wait, what? So they cross-examine the witness for day one. Uh, Not the Nixon administration. It was actually conjured by Harry Anslinger. All right, real quick. I'm going to do a fucking deep dive so everyone understands who I'm talking about. Harry Anslinger. This guy. This motherfucker. Like, this dude literally. Mm, mm, Harry Anslinger. This motherfucker. You're telling. All right, hold on. What's the dude's name again? Kevin Sabay? Yeah. Yeah. This dude. Let's see. Hold on. Where are we at? Where are we at? Where'd it go? Yeah, Harry Anslinger. Kevin Sabay. Kevin Sabay. Harry Anslinger. You're telling me that this dude and this dude. Look at that face. Look at that face. I wouldn't be surprised one bit if they were related somehow. Anyway, yeah, this dude is like. This is insane. I kind of want to get this book just to read it, just to see what it is. Yeah, Kevin Sabay. Let's take a look at his LinkedIn. Mm-hmm. California, what the fuck is wrong with you? Philosophy. PhD of philosophy. Get him the fuck out of here. PhD in philosophy. Get him the fuck out of here. I should get my PhD in philosophy just so I can be called a fucking doctor. Wait, what? Wait, what? Was that like something that like... Oh, is that like real? I don't know. That's insane if that's real. Anyway, yeah, Harry Anslinger. So Harry Anslinger was a dude who pretty much came up with like the playbook for Sabay, where like you lie, 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 lie. And back in the day, it was a way easier to lie about yeah. See, yeah, it was Harry Anslinger that pretty much lied to everybody to get it put down. Here, 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 here. There it is. There it is. Fucking. Where are we at? Where are we at? Here we are. The deadly, dreadful poison that racks and tears not only the body, but the very heart and soul of every human being. That's what this dude is saying. This dude is supposed to be like the head of. So this guy is like pretty much the head and creator of what we now know as the DEA. Like, that's what I want you guys to understand. This is like the. Yup. 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 Harry Anslinger was a fucking racist. Like, the whole. Yeah, it was. It's a lot. It's a lot. The dude's just like. He was terrible. He was terrible. Mm. Yeah, Anslinger was a fucking piece of work, all right. Yes, he was. But anyway, so yeah. So wait, what were we looking at again? Right, right. Marijuana movement. Okay. So most Americans support Supreme Court decisions upholding marijuana users' gun rights. Yep, makes sense. Arizona bill to punish people. Voter dies. Well, that makes sense. That's a political no-brainer. Who's supporting that? Varies by terpene. Well, yeah, yeah. Marijuana leads to robust improvements. Yep. Medical marijuana significantly improves life enjoyment among pain patients. Yep. A lot of puff pieces that make a lot of sense. Okay. Oh, right. We were looking at the Sam thing, right? Because all. Okay, let's see. Cannabis DEA comes out swinging on its cannabis top rescheduling hearing. Let's take a look. Prohibitionists punch back. DEA comes out swinging. Yep. DEA plans to call pain management doctor. All right. I wonder how they figured that out. Reintroduce safe banking. I don't want to. Let's take a look. DEA comes out swinging. CDs provided an in-court analysis of the DEA's first witness testimony in the support of the proposed three. Oh. Yep. Okay. Let's take a look. 7 yep. Well, again, they're not anti-cannabis rescheduling groups. They're just those who say they're being affected grievously. One of those groups is 4 different states, 3 of which are all having medical implemented or being implemented. So it's fascinating. See, no, they're not only inviting those who oppose the rule. It's those who are affected grievously. Well, that's how. See, it's funny. They're gonna say like, "Oh, it's rigged because to complete the rulemaking in the most like expeditious manner." Were the COVID shots not done in an expeditious manner? Come on now. All right, let's see the cross exam. While cross examining the first witness, the FDA asked, "Is the role of the FDA to describe political considerations in making decisions?" Review. Joe Biden ordered the FDA. Okay, so Biden said, like, so he's saying the Biden administration is the one who kicked this all off, not Trump, and to follow through from 2023. And then they asked who donated money to the president. I guess Trueleaf did. DEA attorney objected to the question. Sustained the objection based on the FDA letter that legally limited from testifying on anything outside the scope of the 10-month scientific medical evaluation. Right. Yeah, that's fascinating. Fascinating. But that is interesting. $1 million to Trump. Well, I mean, but like that's Kim Rivers though. Kim Rivers has always been corrupt. We all know that. Evans even questioned whether it should be even presiding over the hearing. The DOJ's Office of Legal Affairs solidified legal standing for to make research. What? Who is this Evans guy? David Evans is an attorney of this NDASA, and he's got the fucking balls to say that, oh, the attorney, the AL, that's insane. That's insane. He literally just said, like, this guy is angry. That's something that you see about people who are like staunchly against cannabis. They're always angry. It's always people who are staunchly against cannabis that always seem like they could use it. Like I don't know, like a drop of tincture, 2.5 milligrams, maybe something to titrate out a 1-to-1. You know, you know. Serves as DA's foreign section chief within the OLC. Yep. That's hilarious. Wow. That's insane. I can state that I had nothing to do with anything, whatever. He took no offense to Evans raising the issue. Even though, dude, Evans was just out for blood. Cross-examining, Evans made a motion to dismiss the entire notice of proposed rulemaking. The dude literally just said, toss the entire fucking shit out. Wow. Wow. Evans just started taking personal shots at everybody. Breakout evaluation by pregnant women? What in the fuck? database that was harms. So he was talking about how he had done this great thorough job. Completely waffled? Dude, who the fuck is this Evans guy again? There's no way. There's no way. I gotta see this. There's no way. There he is, David Evans, Esquire, attorney. Florida? Don't even start. That can't be him. There's no way that's him. Nah, that ain't him. There's too many Evans out there. Okay, he was on the... Let's take a look. Let's take a look. Wait. What? There's no way. North Attorney David Evans. There's no way this is David Evans.
Throughout issues. So for those out there who don't like personal injury lawyers, get over it. They're an important asset to the community. Anyway,
What in the world?
Sorry about that. Look, before we get into the nasty arena of cannabis legalization and all the mayhem that's
What in the world?
from that catastrophe that's happened in the US and it's obviously Canada as well. Tell us,
So this is Dave Evans, huh?
Into practicing law. Obviously, you've been doing it a long time, your 4 decades. So what was the journey when you started out? What kind of led you into that space, David?
This was a year ago.
Well, I got while I was in law school.
So this guy right here, this dude, this fucking guy, for all intents and purposes, is fucking... Oh my goodness. That dude is the guy who is, according to Cannabis Business Times, is saying that... Is like saying, like, you don't deserve to be here, you don't deserve to be here, you don't deserve to be here, you're all fucking crazy, is what he's saying, according to Cannabis Business Times. Yeah. Right. How to remind him to refrain from editorializing and venturing into argument. So to remind Evans to limit his comments to what's relevant. While repeated objections from the DEA's legal team, Evans cross-examined lasted longer than 2 hours. Wow. Okay, so Tennessee Bureau of Investigation on the diversion, violent crime, Delta 8. What do you mean it doesn't have a reproducible profile and plant form? Wait, what do you mean it doesn't have a reproducible profile and plant form? You can easily do a oh my goodness, gas chromatography. What do you mean? What do you mean it doesn't have a reproducible profile? What do you mean? What? Okay, Smith began asking whether HHS disclosed its entire basis from the 2023 Schedule 3. Official responded that all citations are listed. TBI attorney established that the federal officials who conducted the evaluation did not discuss the possibility of diversion from state license programs, nor did they focus on any sort of connection between violent crimes and cannabis. Because it's already been fucking... What do you mean? Those studies have already been made about violent crimes. Like fucking... Okay. Watch this, you guys. Watch this. LaGuardia report. Watch this. LaGuardia report. Watch this. New York actually did a whole study back in the fucking... Let me show you. Here's what the conclusions were of the LaGuardia report. It's used extensively. It's recent. It's low cost. The distribution is in Harlem. The majority of smokers are blacks and Latin Americans. That's only because of the demographic within the fucking cities that they did their surveys. The consensus among marijuana user smokers is that the use of the drug creates a feeling of adequacy, contentness. One can even say a little bit of euphoria. The product does not lead to the addiction in the medical sense of the word. The sale and distribution of marijuana is not under the control of any single organized group. Does not lead to morphine or cocaine addiction. Not determining factor in the commission of major crimes. Is not a determining factor in the major... it's not widespread among school children. Delinquency is not associated. And the public concerning the cash marijuana is unfounded. This was back in 1944. This is back when Harry Anslinger was fucking running shit. This was unscientific, even though it was... Yeah, New York Academy of Medicine, the doctor had more for 5 years. It was a 5-year research, you guys. They even spelled marijuana with an H back in the day. How hilarious is that? So that's very fascinating that we've been doing studies on cannabis and violence since the fucking 40s. With government even doing it in the... Smith drew attention to hearing expedition indicate that cannabis is a highly polymorphic species. Yes, that's true. Okay. Two-part test removes the burdens of the chemistry to be reproducible, right? Yeah. John Nichols of cross-examined on June 30th. The cannabis would not have met the chemical standard under the old 5-part test. The government created a new, much less demanding 2-part test. Well, that's just because of the pharmacology of the plant in and of itself. Because just because the cannabinoids in and of themselves don't... What are you talking about? You can isolate every single individual molecule. Therefore, you can reproduce it both synthetically and artificial. Like, what are we talking about here? And the plant can be reproduced genetically too. Like, you can see the lineage from seed to... What are we talking about? Well, yeah, you have to do... Okay, so like... When science grows, you have to use new standards. What do you mean? Just because you... And you can't synthetically reproduce it. We've just outlawed the synthetically reproducible versions because of the dangerous harms that it can have, such as the synthetic products of cannabis can cause... Actually, it really can cause, like, adverse side effects. One of them being hypothermia, another one being a heightened state of paranoia because of how long the molecules are attached to the receptors or agonizing the receptors. I'm just blocking them for too long. Okay, here we go. Continuing on. So the CE, for decades, this as Sabbath said, they used this rigorous 5-part standard. Means the government's asking for marijuana. Oh, he believes the hearing is just about marijuana, but whether the government can change the rules in the middle of the game to reach a preferred outcome that they think is politically expedient. Well, no, it's not politically expedient. This has been a conversation that's been being had for over 20 years. We've been trying to talk about cannabis forever, and the fact that you're ignoring CBD, like you're okay with CBD, but you're not okay with the cannabis plant, but you're okay with the isolates within the cannabis plant? Huh? To those who support rescheduling, agreed in Rose 24 plan when opposite. No, but you can't unless it comes. Yeah, that's with the compound was extracted from the plant, isolated and turned to a pharma drug. That's exactly it. What are we talking about here? Was for cannabis as a category. We did not make individual findings for different cannabis products. Okay, so there we go. And then Smith turned the attention to the 2015 scientific evaluation of cannabis, for which the department recommended that the DEA keep. Right, but that was before we learned about the. What are we talking about? Let's turn our attention to the politics of 2015. So you want to say it's to do politics, but then point to politics. Kevin Smith pointing to a hearing exhibiting stating that one difference between 2015 and 2023 schedule rests with the Congress amending the definition. Okay, so you got to blame Congress then? Chapino said the concerns that made the HHS and FDA want to highlight the hemp provisions from the 20 were grounded in the creation of quite large marketplace for cannabinoid products. The contribution of those products are not actually marijuana by the legal definition. It may be feeding into epidemiological databases in terms of health interventions. Okay, that makes sense. Smith asked whether HHS and FDA would have landed on the same Schedule 3 recommendations had they not changed 2018. What do you mean? Of course they would have, because it's still the same. Like, the products are still being sold. What are you talking about? It's still all the same. It doesn't matter. It's speculative because we don't know what the universe of all cannabis users looks like without the 2018 legislation. Smith also asked about the federal government's forthcoming implement to a narrow definition for hemp and whether the future definition would change the scope of the schedule. I realize there are changes to hemp, including total THC. I think that is hard to know because I know that hemp market continues to grow, but that doesn't affect cannabis users overall. Right, because hemp is industrial, and that's the whole point of hemp. Hemp is industrial. He explained that as the definition changes, so too does the proportion of people using the products that are legally considered marijuana versus hemp. Crossover data that, okay. And for those of you who are wondering, epidemiological, pretty much they're describing effects of health on mass societal public outcomes. Earlier, Smith had established that the HHS did not specifically analyze psychoactive effects. Delta THC. Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Delta THC offered in prohibited states such as Tennessee are the result of hemp-derived CBD that's synthesized outside the plant. Chaparino said the HHS FDA focused on Delta 9, THC in the evaluation. Right. Okay, so the DUID. So Patrick Keneally of Burke Law represented the DUID victims. Keneally established early on that the FDA did not speak to any parents whose children suffer from psychosis. Well, no, because the children who suffer, because like you have to do actual like evaluations of those children to see whether or not they had familial history of schizophrenia, BPD, or any of the other, or any that died in a car accident was possibly under the influence of cannabis. How about we get people who were? Also from the get-go, Keneally attacked the schedule recommendation for what he said was the reliance of an outdated survey. You're recommending the marijuana be scheduled in 2026 as opposed to 2023. Do you still recommend it be yes? Your findings are only as good as the data you use. Whether or not we have the data here to make the finding in 2026. Wait, but if the data was good in 2023, why would it not be good 3 years later if it's scientifically sound? So Keneally is trying to like still make this sound like, what in the world? Dude, I think these people watch law shows too much. Data in the larger scheme of things. It is. Yeah, it is. It's less than 2 years ago, 3 technically. Did the national study of the FDA include the evaluation with 2019 as the most recent year? Okay. Okay. The National Survey of Drug Use and Health. Okay. The attorney pointed out that the only 7 states that had launched adult use prior to 2019, with 16 states doing so. Right. Okay. Then read an excerpt from the page explaining the 2023 recommendation. Right. The attorney established that this determination was based off of a survey from 2019. FDA 23 omits data from 24, 25, and 26. Okay. Line of questioning later shifted to the HHS and FDA's finding on cannabis relative abuse potential, physical dependence, of public health safety concerns. Comparators: heroin, fentanyl, oxycodone, hydrocodone, cocaine, ketamine, benzodiazepine, Zolopan, tramadol, alcohol, and tobacco, which aren't even scheduled. Due attention to FDA's inclusion of just one substance as a comparator. What? Keneally questioned why cannabis schedule was compared to more Schedule 1 drugs outside of heroin. There could be data for other substances. Yeah. The only difference between Schedule 1 and Schedule 2 is that some have medical use and heroin doesn't. Okay. Keneally also directed his line of questioning to establish that doctors don't prescribe state licensed medical cannabis. Right, because wait, what do you mean they don't prescribe? Because there's no drugs to prescribe yet. Like, what do you mean? Don't provide it either. Regular dispensary workers do. Well, no, they're pharmacists. Oh, federally regulated. Right, they're state regulated. Okay. Okay, so then yeah, you can update how that's done then, I suppose. Keneally also tried to poke holes in another survey that HHS and FDA utilized. Okay, from the CDC, the survey helped the government establish how often people are using cannabis. Somebody who is inpatient hospital from cannabis-induced psychosis. I'd like to know where they're citing their studies from. It's speculation, yeah. Monthly data is important because it could be a reflection on how many people are abusing cannabis. People using it for medical purpose often have a reason to use it daily. Yes, it's not abuse if it's medical. Potions, okay. They're saying the numbers weren't accurate to the Poison Center cases involving drug abuse. From the American Poison Center system provided information from the scope of Poison Center relative to the abuse of other drug comparators. The highest number of potential abuse cases from 6 years from alcohol was 56, heroin was 34, benzos was 33, cannabis was 22, and cocaine was 15. Okay. Also showed the abuse cases made up large part of PC cases was fentanyl, heroin, cocaine, ketamine, followed by cannabis, then alcohol. It says 41% of cocaine cases were PC abuse cases. That would mean 59% of poison control cases were not abuse cases. Do you think they are accidentally snorting cocaine up their noses? What do you mean? Because abuse case doesn't... Do they not know what abuse is? Do they not understand it, what the definition of abuse... Oh my god, these people are really dumb. The HHS also utilized survey data to calculate the likelihood that a substance will result in... When utilizing adjusted abuse rates... These people need to fucking get onto like... We need more pharmacologists in the fucking room at this point. Like... Anyway, we're calculating for the past 4 years. Heroin increased by a shit ton. Canada was focused on how heroin and cocaine are primarily obtained from unregulated sources, where cannabis users obtain their products from regulated sources. Okay. Did you consider the fact that heroin and cocaine are to be much more dangerous than marijuana? That probably has to do with the fact that most people are getting it from illicit sources. Totality of the data. If you look at all the databases, we've noted that marijuana is not usually in the same category as 1 or 2 in terms of harm. That's fine, you've acknowledged some flaws. They're not even trying to like make a point here. They just want to puff their own feathers to go back with a soundbite to their investors. That's what this is for, man. Like, a lot of these lawyers don't even know what the fuck they're talking about. They probably just watched a show once or twice. They came out swinging like they did back 20 years ago, 10 years ago with the same things. They didn't consult anybody, like a subject matter expert, on how to properly phrase the questions they're trying to ask to frame the light. It's a good thing these guys are stupid, or else they would have hired somebody that actually knew what the fuck they were talking about to frame it in a way that actually would make it sound bad. I don't know. If you're trying to stop the scheduling of Schedule 1 to Schedule 3, I mean, it's silly. It's silly. It's just silly. All right, the attorney argued that the analysis fails to mention any shortcomings in the databases. We did not comment on those particular flaws with the data. And if you didn't comment on it, you didn't consider it. Well, no, it's not they didn't consider it. They just didn't comment. Just no comment. That's so silly. Okay. I might have to create a free account. Okay, yeah, no. Fucking, so this dude right here is the guy going around yelling at everybody saying, you're not qualified to do shit. Fucking 71 subscribers, 5 likes. This is the face of Sam. Shit. Fucking, they're just grifting, man. They're just grifting. Nonprofits are grifting. Damn. All right. Yep. Perpetuity hearing. Yeah, we already talked about all of this. And that's the Safe Banking Act. We'll learn about the Safe Banking Act later. So, damn, you guys, that's pretty fucking crazy. Pretty fucking crazy. So, it looks like they're still going to continue. Wait. How did... Okay, so this is pretty much... Okay. Government's first witness. Okay, so the government had their first witness, and the first witness was from the FDA. And everyone got to examine them. Government's first witness. Cross-examined again. Cross-examined again. And that's what we just read through. Government's second witness was cross-examined again and again. That was that second guy we were talking about. And then yesterday it was them continuing on. So NDASA had their first witness yesterday. So we'll probably learn more about that in the coming days. And then we're going to continue on with their witnesses. It's going to be fascinating. And then, yeah, July 6th is going to be fun. July 6th and July 7th is when Sam is going to do all their bullshit. That's going to be fun. DUID is also going to be fun. DUID doesn't have anything to stand on. I'm excited to hear what Dr. Kenneth got to say. The Bucket Man, Mr. Bucket. And then TBI is going to go. TBI is going to try to do something like violent, like try to, like it's going to be violence. Mr. Philip Drum. Fascinating stuff. Mr. Drum's going to keep going. And then the state's first witness cross-examined by the government. So then the government's going to be able to. All right. So it looks like the final day is going to be July 15th. We still got 2 weeks of this to go. Pretty fun and exciting stuff, you guys. Yeah, I guess from here, there really isn't much more to say. We got a break for a bit. We're probably going to definitely subscribe to that. What was that one site that we were just on? Let's take a look. Marijuana. DEA reschedule. Cannabis business times. Let's make an account. Let's make an account. Okay. Gmail. Huh? We are actually an educator. Dope. All right. So let's refresh this. We're in. All right. So DEA made it clear on 29th. Yep. Interesting parties to participate. But the government isn't throwing the match. So that way they can hear everybody immediately. Yep. So yeah, that was the first witness, second witness. And none of these people understand that. Yeah, they put the rules liens on the U.S. Department of Health's determination as Cameo for the treatment. And what was Cameo again, one more time? Cannabis has acceptable medical use. Oh, that's easy. Of course it does. GG, no re. Everybody's been called into question. Source said the anti-race scheduling parties can't challenge the two-part test because the LC opinion is binding on the DOJ. Okay. Yeah, David Evans from Going On. Yeah, it turned into 2 hours because the DA kept repeated objections. And it's funny because, like, the DEA, if they really didn't want this to happen, they'd, yeah. People don't understand the DEA wants this to happen. Like, narrative has shifted. DEA is no longer on the war on drugs. They're on the let's get medicated and control it, regulate it. So this dude right here is the GOAT. This guy right here. This dude right here. Let's connect. Let's send without a note. Let's just connect. Yeah, this dude's dope. I'd like to have, actually, let's send him a message. Let's see, good afternoon. It is the afternoon, right? Yeah, it's the afternoon. All right, so I'm asking him if I can interview him later on so I can get his perspective on the matter. Our perspective on the whole rescheduling experience. On the whole rescheduling. All right, just reached out. We'll see what he says. Probably won't reach back out, but it's fun. Let's take a look. So yeah, so he was grilled by a bunch of dipshits. Fucking, not all of them are bad. I'm sure one of them probably understood. The states didn't really say anything. The states kind of took up a spot without saying anything. So that's fascinating. Yep. Building a record for potential judicial review. Again, focusing on the two-part test for CAMU. A totality of the data. Yeah, they do clinical studies. Yeah, medical use patterns. FDA approval of 2 drugs. Yeah, there's 2 drugs that have already been fucking approved. Yes. Pull the 5 sources of which determine the campus. Because there are no national surveys. So certain states have to be part of it. So Florida's epidemiology has to review it. What? Yeah, see? All 5 of these things are what's labeled for medical conditions. Okay. 39 clinical trials. These studies were more supportive for therapeutic benefit of pain than Yes. I wonder if Sam is going to try to cite that one skewed report from 2015. I bet you he is. And not required to go further into the FDA and HHS scientific medical analysis. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, yeah. In states that have adult use medical programs, 6% sought advice from healthcare professionals. Thank you. Yes. It's about the safety issue related to the state surveys. Okay. Man also directed attention to his team finding cannabis for lead abuse potential. Right? The FDA compared it with relative abuse. Yep. About the risk ratio, including deadly seizures caused by heavy alcohol use. Yes. Holy shit, is this guy dumb? Hold on. Who is man again? Who is this guy? There's no way this is still Evan. There's no way. There's no way. Who's man? Okay, so day one testimony. Oh, Lisa man. Okay, so Lisa man is the one who's the DEA attorney. Does she really not know? Hold on, there's no way. There's no way. What? There's no way. What did she do before this? She was assistant state attorney for Prince George's as a clerk. From Maryland to Maryland. So wait, she's from Virginia? What in the world? That's insane. Okay, well hold on. So she really questioned. Are you really telling the court that marijuana has fewer overdose deaths than the comparators? Is she trying to set him up for I don't know. So that the team found that cannabis has similar withdrawal symptoms as tobacco, which is not a control. With the data supports cannabis placement schedule 3. Did you and your team find credible? Yes. Okay, so maybe she's like just threw softball questions the entire time. She has to know that everyone knows that. She's playing a game. She has to. Who's this be? Who's trying to make my connections? Oh. Alright. Anywho. Let's take a look. So yeah, I guess that's pretty much what it comes down to, right, you guys? Like, I think this is happening. This is definitely Cannabis Business Times. Way to go. Thank you so much for being, like, shout out to Cannabis Business Times. All right, so now we know what's going on. Now we know what's happening. We're all caught up. Except for the NDASA second witness. We might have to see that again. That's pretty cool, though. It's going to be fun. The first and second witnesses. And then we'll start Sam and after lunch on 3 days after July 4th. Happy July 4th, everybody. Happy July 4th. Well, you guys, let me get in here. Let me show you. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Without you, it's just me talking to the void. I hope that you are able to gather some form of information, get caught up. Hope I was able to properly digest all the crazy happenings going on in the cannabis world. There's a lot more going down on the state level, on the municipality level, local levels. Florida, we still have to talk about the hydroxy ban, or the re-ratio hydroxy, and then we got to talk about the DEA's re-ratio of hydroxy 07 or 7-hydroxy. Sorry. But yeah, no. So we're going to talk about more about cannabis, more about pharmaceuticals news, and yeah, I look forward to talking about this with you all some more. But for now, hope you all had a great day, and hopefully I was able to make this just a little bit better. Oh, let me take a look, see if I can't find the log off button. There they are. Peace.